Hey guys, Empyrean here. 1 week or 5-6 days into Settlers League, and I figured I would record a video about the town and what to focus on, what to not worry about, some stuff to, avoid, hopefully some helpful tips to help you on your Kingsmarch adventures. I've spent anywhere between 5 and 10 million gold, I didn't write it down, upgrading the town, so that is the perspective I'm coming from. My town is fully upgraded, all of my NPCs are level 9 or 10, and I'm gonna run out of gold in 21 hours, so hopefully, I'll level up a character and keep that afloat. But for now, a couple of tips. First of all, focus on leveling your town first. Your main town is the most important thing. I don't mean only level this and nothing else, but try to focus on always leveling the town as fast as possible. Higher level town allows you to recruit higher level NPCs, and at the higher levels you can use the high quality reroll, which will always give you higher level people. Of course it costs like 12 times as much, but if you have a lot of gold to spend, that's how you do it. Focus on leveling up your farming first, because that is AFK profit. You don't need to refill or anything, it only takes gold, and then your farmers are using gold to generate crops, and crops will turn into currency when you ship them off to different ports. Leveling up disenchanting and always having something disenchanting is also pretty important early on, because everything uses dust to level up to the highest levels. So you gotta get some dust going, some thaumaturgic dust, so that you can upgrade your benches to the max level. Don't worry about having your mappers map all the time. It is a lot of gold. The most expensive people are the mappers. Probably skip the mapping early on, unless you have a lot of extra gold and a lot of maps that you wouldn't run yourself. And also don't worry about constantly shipping stuff. Eventually you will be capped on the materials that you're wanting to ship, not the time that the ship takes to ship them. The treasury empty-in number is the correct and accurate number to look at when it comes to when your gold will run out. This timer incorporates the NPCs running out of things to do. So even though with this amount of wages, you could calculate, oh, my town will do this and this, but if you have mappers mapping and in 30 minutes they will stop mapping, that is factored into this time. So this is the number you have to look at. If you have shippers out, you have some stuff disenchanting, you have some mappers, then this number will always be accurate of when you will run out of gold. Wages are based on the highest job level. This person here, for example, has tier 8 disenchanting, but tier 7 mapping. Mapping is the most expensive job, and so if you're finding a miner or a shipper or a farmer that is high level, but it's way more expensive than other farmers, it's probably because it has mapper or disenchanter as a second job. Those are the most expensive job, mapper being far more the most expensive. Tier 10 mappers use 3,000 gold per hour, or up to 3,000. It's like 2.3 to 3,000 gold per hour. The most expensive is mapper, then disenchanter, then farmer, then shipper, then smelter, and then miner is the cheapest job. Dust is about a 3 times multiplier to your shipment value at 8,000 dust. So let's say I want to ship here 100 crimson iron bars. That is a 1,600 shipment value. Actually, let's do 1,000 bars. So 16,000 shipment value. If I add like 10 dust, see it's already 24k, 200 dust, 36k. I'll just add 8,000 to demonstrate it. If I add 8,000 dust, it's 47k. That's about 3 times. And after that, any more I add, it's just gonna be a flat value for the dust. It's really not worth. In fact, it's so bad. You see, if I add 6 million dust, it's still only 63,000 shipment value. It's pretty much never worth to add more than 8,000 dust to a shipment. This 8,000 value that I just mentioned, that is only for the shipment value. However, it has been theorized that this dust is actually a rarity multiplier. And if you're sending a lot of crops, which is currency, adding more dust will add more rarity. So you might get better currencies. This needs more testing. Eventually, if I have a lot of crops, I'll do some testing about this. But I didn't want this video to be like only about shipping or how to min-max it. Basically, TLDR is that shipping is like you have to build rep with the different ports, you have to do the quests for them. They need these favored resources. So after this orichalcum, wheat, and blue xanthium, if I ship all of this, I'll get a new list of stuff with higher numbers in the end. I don't know if there's an end to this or it's infinite scaling. There's probably an end to this, maybe 150, 200%. But basically, you always want to send the resources that they are asking for. And then when you do, those resources will get replaced and the numbers after that will grow. 8,104 dust is exactly 3 times the shipment value according to the wiki. How to get many pages of loot on the ships? It's just sending more stuff. There is proper shipping videos and guides, I think, out there at this point. I think Ziggy has one. I've seen one posted on Reddit as well. Basically, shipping plants or crops will get you currency, and shipping ores and other stuff will get you items. So, you know, armor, weapon, flasks, other stuff, and runes. Also, one more thing with shipping, ores are counted as 5 times the requirement as bars. So if a port wants 140,000 orichalcum, then you can satisfy that by sending 28,000 orichalcum bars. This is either 140,000 ore or 28,000 bars. Mappers at the end game can farm about 1 to 1.5 div per hour if you have constant 3 map devices running with all can go red maps. That has been my testing from 2 pretty long sessions. This number can probably increase if the maps are better, or you know, you can of course get lucky with bigger drops. I never got any huge drop. Rasmus did. Rasmus found a hate forge from one of his mappers over 2.5 days of constant mapping, except overnight, of course. So you can of course get lucky, but I think in general in Gumball they bring in about 1 div per hour currency. I will do more testing on this later on in the league. So gold is scaled with ground loot. So unfortunately all of your loot tile strats, you know, like legions, like blights, like exiles, like sanctum, like none of that stuff will get you good gold as of right now. Maybe they make some changes, but right now gold is basically scaling with ground loot. So if you're doing ground loot based strats, which is in a pretty bad state this league, that's how you get your most gold. Unfortunately those strats are in a pretty bad state. The way to farm gold is literally just map, kill monsters, and pick up the loot, pick up the gold that they drop. Bossing doesn't really get you gold. Blighted maps apparently are terrible for gold. Sanctum doesn't drop gold at all. There's a lot of places where you just can't get gold at all. So if you want gold, you need to go into the maps and kill monsters. Mappers can eventually run T17 maps. The final map upgrade is that they can run T17 maps. There's another general tip. Your idle workers do not need gold. So just because I have 12 people on mining here and 12 people on smelting, they are currently not mining anything and they're currently not smelting anything, so they're not using your gold. Okay, you don't need to take them off. There is one time when you would want to take people off, is towards the last few upgrades. You will need Versium ore to upgrade some town stuff, not Versium bar. However, if you're mining Versium, they will immediately start smelting it into ore if your smelters are on. So you should probably take off the smelters until you have enough ore to upgrade everything that requires ore. An extra addition to that is that other smelters that are out of work will smelt other resources. So even if you took off all your smelters from Verisium, if you have smelters in other places and they have nothing to smelt, they will start smelting your Verisium ore and thereby using up your ore, making them into bars, and you won't be able to upgrade some stuff. This is a very niche issue, and maybe depending on how fast you progress, you might never run into this, but it's good to know. When you see something requiring Versium ore, make sure you're not smelting that into bars, because there's a couple of things that require a few hundred Versium ore. How does mining ores work in a party? Everyone gets the ore. If you find the ore, you do the encounter, and everyone gets the ore, as long as you were in the map when the ore was scouted. So you cannot do rotations. You cannot be like, oh, I found the Versium ore, let me call in 5 of my friends who weren't in the map before and then warp me. They will not get the ore. You have to be in the map when the ore is scouted or, you know, loaded into the instance. Ores to bar is 1-to-1. So if you mine a 1,000 crimson ore, that will turn into 1,000 crimson bars, and that will be 5 times as valuable when it comes to shipping. Disenchanting is based on the rarity of the item. Good rares go up to like 8 to 10k, I think is the highest I've seen. And then uniques start from anywhere from 2,000 to the millions. A Mage Blood or T0 uniques salvage for over 1 million dust. I think up to 2 million even on a Mage Blood I've seen a screenshot of. Generally, any unique you pick up that you wouldn't sell or whatever, you can just chuck it in there, turn it into a few thousand dust. It adds up over time, and then you can add that dust to juice up your shipments. What level can you disenchant uniques? It's the last one. It's the max rank is when you can disenchant uniques. Up until then, you have to chuck in the rares. In terms of rares, their affixes seem to matter, their item level seems to matter. So here's a 72 belt, this disenchants to 500 dust. Here's a 86 belt, disenchants to 7,000 dust. The higher the maps where you find the rares, the better. And then on top of that, there is some rolls like, you know, higher tier mods in general is what matters. I think eventually I'll have like a mapper only related video. Again, I wanted this to be like a generic thing, so don't worry about mappers too much. I said that. You can type /Kingsmarch to go to your Kingsmarch, like you can do /hideout. So if you're using Awakened PoE trade, you can go to settings and then you add /Kingsmarch and you bound it to something. Looks like this, you know, F5 hideout, F6 Kingsmarch. It's probably useful. I think for now, that's all I got. Hopefully this was useful. If you have any questions, you know, put them in the comments or join stream and ask away. I'll be live playing the video game, so, you know, happy to help. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.